What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the second mixtape by Trinidad James. Basically this product is called 10 Piece Mild and it came out in the summer of 2013. So the bear about this product here is particularly Trinidad James had a pretty large and successful 2012 within these pitches. He was one of the come-up rappers around that particular Datpiff cresting type era within those pitches. His free mixtape started to hit like a lot more heralded mainstream type appeal. Between folks like Meek Mill with Dream Chasers 2 and Rick Ross with Rich Forever, Someone's Type Tangents, folks like that. Yo Gotti had a series of these. Future was doing excellent with mixtapes like Astronaut Status and these type of appeals, but it's kind of the ordeal. Trinidad James was such a folk that charted with one of his initial singles, which was excellent type pitches, pretty similar to like Kurt Cobain, some of those type folks that had some of those bopping type singles back in those days. But particularly, the unfortunate thing about it was Trinidad James was kind of minorly pigeonholed into being like a one-hit wonder within those aspects, just because he never quite dropped an album. And this mixtape, the appeal behind this mixtape is it's definitely excellent within the aspect. It's going to get a classic score within these pitches. A little bit on the shorter side, 8 songs within these aspects. A couple skits on here that I don't recommend, but still within pitches for saying they're not bad within those aspects, but it's just kind of pitch. Those skits are just some extra type ordeals. But the pitch behind this mixtape that kind of creates like a mishap for us is the fact that this product does not have any singles. And it's kind of the pitch. I don't know if the pressure trying to follow up like All Gold, everything was particularly within the fair, but it's kind of the pitch. I think Trinidad James realized that amidst the promotional run of Don't Be Safe, as far as this pitch can happen, which stands for Don't Be Sensitive as Fuck Every Day. It's kind of the pitch as far as saying within these products. That particular product did have the banging single within the aspects. It's eventually a mixtape that wound up Don't Be Safe is eventually a mixtape that wound up being sold for retail pitches like that, but it's kind of the ordeal. Don't Be Safe is eventually a mixtape that wound up being sold for retail as far as this fair is going to happen, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying that the particular product about it, the remix for All Gold, everything was the reason behind that, but the particular pitch was just the fact that the actual second single off that product, Females Welcome. Now keep in mind, for folks probably who are more recent to fucking with the Acid Roost channel pitches like that, I reviewed Don't Be Safe, the mixtape, back in like the spring or the late winter or spring of 2024 within those pitches as far as those 4 months going to happen. I want to say back in those days now, I've reviewed quite a few products since then, despite the fact that within these particular fairs now, really by the time you see this particular product, it's going to be probably towards the end of 2025, but it's within the pitch. I'm reviewing this in September 2025 pitches like that. It was kind of the aspect as far as saying, me having reviewed Don't Be Safe in like March or April 2024 is still quite the astronomical difference, all things considered. Now, it wouldn't be if all these updates. And that's what happens when you go about this relentlessly within these aspects. But it's just kind of pitch as far as saying, I look within the tone as far as saying, yeah, so this is a particular classic mixtape. This within the appeal, this gives you exactly what you need from Trinidad James, minus the factoid of having like a bang kind of one hit, minus the factoid of having like a bang kind of follow-up hit to All Gold, everything as far as this appeal is going to happen. It's not to say it doesn't have the hits. I will definitely tell you within these aspects here, the 2 most popular songs according to Spotify would be Shut Up with Travis Scott, which is some pretty excellent type ordeals, and then East Side with folks like Gucci Mane and Young Scooter, Alley Boy and Childish Gambino, some of these type folks. Excellent type ordeals. There's some other folks on here pitched like that. Fabo, D4L is on here, excellent type ordeals. Danny Boy's on here. Rich Homie Quan is on here. There's some Young Chop beats on here pitches like that. Just some good type ordeals. Does have an excellent type produced type fare within the product of it. So despite the fact that, I mean, this was glitzy enough within these products, it's just kind of a more low-key type product that just is kind of like a good centerpiece. Just like the product says being a 10-piece smile, it's kind of the aspect that it could have been spicier, could have had the aspect of having a real ravenous type bite. Could have had a real ravenous type bite, could have given some spice to your tongue as far as those pitch can have. And I'd say it doesn't, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it's just the ordeal that it kind of just is more glancing blows. And it's just kind of the product. Yeah, it's just strange that this did not take advantage like the notoriety that he particularly capitalized on. I think probably at least one Buzz music video or promotional single, something like that would have been nice or neat to have gotten within these aspects. But it's not like it's not a classic product. So just to say it's a 10 out of 10. Recommend all 8 of the songs. There are actually songs in here within these pitches. So I'll go ahead and talk about the 2 most popular songs, Shut Up and East Side, first. Basically, Shut Up's like a sparkly but mellow kind of mixtape trap turn up to kind of get within these aspects here. Just a nice mid-brawler, I'd say, within the aspects. It's kind of a good venue, hotspot kind of marinade as far as this pitch can happen. So just miss the aspect as far as saying this is the particular product. There are some ones on here that, despite the fact that this is kind of more seen in like a more sedate type sense, not so much not so much full bounce today, but kind of the product as far as just saying when I was talking about glancing blows within these products, it's kind of the fair that in terms of like songs, like the most feral song on here would probably be either K's, which has Fabo D for L, and they're not as full bounce sure how to pronounce that particular pitch. You would think it would be K's as for like queso, something like that. It might be Q's, something like that, but it's just kind of pitch for saying K's, some of those type ones, Q's, an aspect, and then I would probably say the Young Chop beat, which I'm trying to remember which one it is within these ordeals. I think it's actually yeah, Q's is a pretty nice one, but then, oh yeah, it's Jumping Off Texas. That's probably the most ravenous song on here. This is a taste of the way that things probably should have continued being when you think of songs like Hard in the Paint by Waka Flocka and Animal by Lil Durk, some of these type pitches with the format, just typical kind of feral type ones. I Don't Like by Chief Keef, some of these type ones, 300 by Chief Keef, as pitches within that particular type format. Just kind of aspect that 2013 was kind of a transit type stage. It's like mixtape trap was starting to go into like different directions, kind of minorly, at least in 2013, minorly starting to head into like the IG kind of era pitches like that. This is kind of the ordeal about it as far as this fair is going to happen, but this is yeah, Shut Up is a nice one. Some of these sorts of songs like Shut Up, Jumping Off Texas, and Rosenberg, some of these type ones, with, or not Rosenberg's, but like East Side, some of these type pitches are good type formats for like the marination pitches like that, but like some venue cross and those type aspects. It has the appeal. It kind of switches in between like the thing about like Don't Be Safe, some of those type pitches. When I think of like the songs like Females Welcomed and like All Gold Everything pitches like that. Like the thing about the Don't Be Safe type product. The thing about the Don't Be Safe type product is songs like Females Welcome and All Gold, everything within those pitches were more house party type ordeals, some of those type formats that just getting towards the red cup type noise pitches like that. And it kind of has these songs on here, just not as full bounce. It's kind of the pitch as far as saying that the promotion is just kind of snagged within the aspect, but it is the aspect that is blistering. The quality is definitely on here. It's just kind of a lot more low key within the sense this does it. It's just not pizzazzful in your face, which is kind of strange because I definitely feel like Trinidad James could have harnessed a lot more. It's just kind of, I don't want to say that Trinidad James went broke within these pitches, but it's just kind of the conduct that he was pretty much on the come up, and you would have thought he would have wanted, you know, within the viciousness to have secured, like, you know, get to 3, 4, 8, 10, 12 hits within these aspects for those pitches kind of happen. It's not like he doesn't have them, but it just didn't have the promotion. It was this kind of aspect. So yeah, Shut Up's a nice one. East Side's another quality one. This is the most popular song according to Spotify. So this is a free mixtape, but it is also on Spotify as well. So yeah, like I was saying, it has Gucci Mane, Young Scooter on here, some of these type folks. Eastside would definitely be a good buzz single choice, I'd have to say here. Just some routine kind of mid-rile stunt nice pitches like that. It's kind of a shimmering, kind of clean marinade as far as what's going to happen. So just to miss the pitch as far as saying one of those particular type ones where it is just kind of the ambience in a venue pitches like that as far as those ordeals kind of happen, just within the aspect of just like the typical kind of routine fare. Not so much within the pitch like the ferocity when you think of songs like Jumping Off Texas, but kind of just the format, just the basking and pitches like that as far as those songs going to happen, just more myths. Standard type noise, just the socialize and the schmooze as far as those pitch kind of have. So just to miss the ordeals, mapping out, figuring out, gaming up particular diva, something like that within those aspects for those tones going to go along with it. Just the standard chatter and just the commotion like the night product was just easy kind of marinate within those tones. Just excellent type product for a free mixtape. Some of those type ordeals. Keep in mind that yeah, this mixtape is free, especially as it's an excellent type product to like the leftover years. The leftover and throwback type years to early 2010s pitch like that. So excellent type ordeals, but there's some further type ones. Hipster Strip Club's a real excellent type one here. This like a woozy kind of mixtape, lo-fi zone out to kind of get within these tones. This reminds like Mac Miller, some of those type ones from like Macadelic. If you like some of those type ones that just feel like college campus, kind of zone out type ones that just smoke in like some sort of dorm or aspects like a more homebound kind of romp type music pitch like that. Just kind of has the ordeal. It's a little bit more centered with the aspect. It kind of goes in between like neighborhood romps within the pitch. It just actually more neighborhoods within that sort of romping type aspect. Not so much slummish, but just kind of miss the aspect of more straightforward. It's kind of within the particular appeal when you talk about. It's kind of within the particular appeal when talking about hipsters, pitches like that. But yeah, this definitely reminds of Mac Miller, some of those type ones. Just definitely some homebound kind of steamage as far as those pitches can happen. So just real nice steam type aspect within these tones as far as these formats going to go. Some of these homebound type ones like Hipster Strip Club, Homegirls, and Rosenbergs are just fresh off that particular Don't Be Safe type aspects for those tones going to happen just in a neighborhood type sense. So the same sort of formats, just a little bit more kind of within the refinement of it this time within these aspects. Definitely the same sort of spill and pitches like that, the red cup type noise. The more carnivorous ones are more in the venue type aspects, but it's this kind of aspect to like a throwback to some of those type moments, chunking up to do like those same sort of appeals. Just a little bit more, has a little bit more meldedness and refinement towards it. Not so much full bound sophisticated, but probably I would say definitely within like the hipster type vibe, just the sort of Mac Miller, Big Sean type vibes within pitch. Not to say there's a problem with that, but just the aspect of this more kind of more refinement about these house parts, I had to say. But that leads to Homegirl, some of these type ones as well. It's another one that's very similar to All Gold Everything, so he did kind of provide like a pseudo spin-off of that song. Homegirl's like a dope, dramatic kind of house party boiler to kind of get just a spicy kind of All Gold Everything. And by spicy All Gold Everything, I just mean like an All Gold Everything song with more beezies in mind, pitches like that, where it's kind of some hollow music pitches like that. As far as the ordeals, just spit and flames and those type of aspects towards like the divas pitches like that. It's kind of some beezies and chit chat as far as those pairs going to go. Kind of miss the pitch, that same sort of noise. Just those sorts of products, excellent to kind of get Trinidad James on some of this mess hall type music within the aspects as far as these tones going to go along with it. Just good that he didn't forget about these products so quickly within these aspects as far as these tones going to go. Jumping Off Texas is a real banging type one. This is a real standout on here. Definitely excellent to get Rich Homie Quan on this particular song. It's like a throwback to early 2010s mixtape drill, I'd have to say. Just a red hot kind of mixtape standout, I would definitely feel like here. Just going super ham pitches like that. So just miss the product. This is probably a song that needed to be a single on Don't Be Safe from 2012, some of those type pitches within that, but it's just excellent type product, getting into some of these type ones within the aspect as far as like these tones going to have them with just like those typical kind of bangers. This is just further type product, like the sound that just is very refreshing to kind of get in 2013. This is the sort of song that needed to happen just on a frequent basis within these aspects, as folks like Waka Flocka and folks like that were kind of seemingly not there. Slim Duncan obviously wasn't there with his passing some of these type pitches, but Waka Flocka, you know, folks like Casino probably needed to drop another mixtape in 2013. Some of these type folks. Future was a little bit quieter in 2013, pitches like that. So this is kind of the ordeal. But just classic kind of Datpiff era mixtape drill within those aspects. Excellent type ordeal. Material things hard to deal with. This real excellent one within these pitches as well as like a hop and bop and like a trap sense that I had to say. Just smoking like the fresh wind. Some of those type aspects that I had to say. Just good for like Doritos. Some of those type products. Lay's chips. Some of those type bears. Just kind of Sunny Day, some of those type aspects, just in the tone like a standard crawl, some of those type pitches within a neighborhood bounce. Not quite as homebound as like the songs like Hipster Strip Club and Homegirl, some of those type ones in Rosenberg's, but just within the pitch of just like a strut type song with the aspect of neighborhood walks. Q's is a quality one as well. Now this does have Fabo, D. Pharrell, and Danny Brown on here, some of these type folks. Just being able to say Q's is like a dope ratchet kind of mixtape snaps kind of get within the aspects of it. This reminds of like 2013 Juicy J sounds like products. And this came out right before Juicy J's Stay Trippy, but just within the aspects as far as some of those type fares when you think of like particular ratchet rappers, Jeezy and YG were kind of getting into this particular sound with like the DJ Mustard type form. It's not full bound, it's not produced by DJ Mustard, but it has like that particular similarity of this like a differential type taste. It's not so much mixtape drill, some of that type stuff, Lex Luger and Southside, some of those type folks, Metro Boomin, folks like that around that particular time, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying this has a little bit more kind of trap and B, R and bass type bounce within pitch behind it. It's just a super wired type one, probably one of the crazier ones on here along with Jumping Off Texas. I'd have to say just a great song to get hella bent and club while out. It's a great song to get hella bent and club wild out as far as this pitch can happen. So excellent within those ordeals. And then the last song I don't think I've talked about on here is Rosenberg. This is like an in-between kind of neighborhood bump and passage. Kind of get within the aspects here. Just a goodie run, I would definitely say. Kind of a jazzy hop and bop and cruise as far as this pitch can happen. Now this one's a little bit more car-bound within the pitch, but definitely some more refined type aspects within like the neighborhood crawls. It's kind of the aspect as far as saying it's kind of up like the refinement type fare in terms of the aspect of like the neighborhood, just in terms of not so much being slummish this time, having a little bit more money about your just the composition, just more things, more within the passage of having to bide your time a little bit within the aspect of just like the tones of kind of being more busybody, whether it is just a decent enough job or just a pitch of having some commitments in terms of like whether it would be schooling or just some degree of day responsibilities as far as this pitch kind of happen, but it's just kind of missed the aspect, just kind of more hipster and kind of more just not so much yuppie, but kind of within the relative type variety of something within those aspects. Not to say yuppie in terms of foul type sense, but hipster yuppie, some of that folks just more in the aspect, not so much bougie, but just kind of more just not typical kind of just McChicken and you know Wendy's. It's not typical kind of McChicken and just standard McDonald's type claims within aspects as far as those tones got. It's not to say it is, it's just kind of pitched for us saying that there is a little bit of like, there's a little bit of aspiration on this product. Not as full bound where it's like within the hustle grease about it, but just to miss the pitch of just like some degree of like bout and some degree of bout-itness within probably like some bustle within those tones as far as this pitch can go. So this is the pitch as far as saying, but just the product of this, I do like this mild kind of hipster sheen about this product as far as these tones going to have in these house party type senses. Just more ratchet type sense with the red cup type noise is the pitch of kind of having work and play kind of mixed with the aspects as far as like the tone of just kind of, it does have the reckless type sense. So it's kind of the pitch as far as saying that it does keep things within the element of just being productive as far as this pitch goes. So just missed the pitch. Just has that fair note. From what I remember, this like I said, it's been a ways in terms of all the reviews I've done since I reviewed Don't Be Safe. So I don't remember that product is full bound. I did at least fuck with All Gold Everything. That's obviously on my MP3 player, but within pitches like that, I need to re-fuck with Females Welcome, because that is a good, nice one within a house party touch sense. Differential from All Gold Everything, but within the same tones. I briefly listened to that before doing this review. So it's this kind of pitch. Kind of switches to venue noise later within those pitches, but it's just kind of fair. It's just unfortunate that Trinidad James was kind of pigeonholed into like a one-hit wonder type format within those aspects, because it's kind of fair that this particular mixtape is pretty electric within these tones. It has the qualities to be able to be red hot within these aspects. Is just kind of the fact that it just got screwed over within the pitch as far as not having more promotion and music videos and things like that. It has the guests on here and has the production, has all these type of things, but this kind of pitch as far as saying. So this mixtape is a 10 out of 10. Social score I'll probably give like a 9.75, because I say the definite quality is on here. It's a fun type product. It does have these hipster and yuppie type songs within these aspects, these socialite type ones within the aspect that just kind of more sports bar and romping bound type aspects within these tones, more house party frat type noise pitches like that, some side tones within the aspect neighborhood bound, just in a more elegant type sense. Then it also has like the product like some venue type noise, like typical mixtape trap, some of those type of ordeals as far as getting crunk within the product. Songs like East Side, Jumping Off Texas, Q's, and like Shut Up, some of those type ones within these ordeals. Kind of switches back and forth between mixtape trap and drill, kind of in a more social type sense. Kind of switches between mixtape, trap, and drill in like a more social and club type sense, and then house party kind of refinement pitches like that, and some day fair that kind of has other things with more work shift kind of in mind. So this pitch as far as doing that excellent type of PL, 9.75, just because it doesn't have any singles. That's the only reason why it gets snagged. Just the excellent type pitch behind it. It's a bona fide type product. Definitely unfortunate that Trinidad James did not bolster off the popularity, because it seemed like Wikipedia had said that in 2014, which he had not dropped another product by that point. He really was only given 2 products before he was dropped from his label. So this kind of pitch as far as saying, it's unfortunate because both these are pretty banging, but it's just kind of product that the promotion just wasn't there. So it's kind of fair. So it's definitely a very notable type product, but just the problem was just it lacked taking advantage, like the prospect of like the 15 minutes of fame, or more or less just to say it didn't strike when the kettle was hot as far as this pitch guy happens. Not to say it didn't. I mean, the product was definitely there, but it just didn't promote it that within those senses. This kind of product just needed something. It obviously does have more hits like All Gold Everything, but that's just kind of fair. So this is the product. So I look after 9.75 social. In terms of the future, like Trinidad James, his most recent product seemingly is from 2020, so it's been a little bit, but it's kind of the fair. It's probably been since Datpiff has been around pitch like that, since he's dropped products. To this point, he has still not dropped an album, which is unfortunate, but it's probably the appeal that if he had dropped in like 2013, 2014, it probably would have just been songs that were supposed to be like All Gold Everything. Was this kind of pitch that was a banging touch song. It's just the fact that I would definitely give this cat a try further than just that particular hit and things like that. He does have some ones on here. Just digging deep within those products, it's easy enough to find some of these, the day shifts, the night shifts, some of these type of products within the tones, the house party, and the trap type ones, pitches like that. Some of these type of ordeals that does have the aspects of yuppie type music, excellent type ordeals, some socialized. Just overall, it's pretty bound in this mess hall type music. It hits the nail on the head pretty excellently.